Okay, welcome to This Week in Waking Up, a bi-weekly audio show where we talk about what's new in the app, take listener questions, and discuss some of the concepts of the app in a way that helps people understand them better. We'll also talk a bit about what's going to be released in the app in the upcoming weeks, so stay tuned at the end for that. This week, a new series was released called Mindfulness for Young Adults, created by Amy Edelstein, specifically tailored to those ages 13 to 19. And it starts with a session investigating what mindfulness is from a broad sense, and then diving deeper into how to find more space in a crowded mind and how to tame the distracted mind. And even has a session about how to help with sleep, and a session that's similar to metta practice called Warming the Heart, where someone can develop a habit of care by sending good wishes to a loved one, and of course, just like in all metta practice, to yourself. Okay, in addition to that series, there was a Q&A recently released with Sam Harris and Joshua Green, which I highly recommend. Joshua Green is a professor of psychology at Harvard University, and he asked some very salient questions. The three segments I think you'll find particularly interesting are when Sam and Joshua discuss the concept of looking for the subject, wherein Sam dives deeper into the headless way and the idea of centerlessness and the concept of there only being consciousness at any given moment, consciousness and its contents, and no center to experience. So this is an important subject which I think most advanced students will understand, but that beginner students should take a look at nonetheless. They also go into reasons why it's perhaps important to experience a retreat at some point, even further exploring instantaneous selflessness and gaining insight into non-duality. So I really think this is just as good as the last Q&A that was released on the app with Tamler Summers. And if you're looking for a way to explore questions about non-dual experience and the practice of looking for the one who is looking, don't sleep on these last two Q&As. I've listened to them both multiple times, and I hear something new each time. Now, if you didn't get the last email from Waking Up right after the new year, you might have missed that the most replayed session on the app last year was called Just Begin Again. You've probably heard this segment, but I did find it interesting and relevant that that session in particularly really resonated with a lot of the subscribers. In both Rinzai and Soto Zen traditions, there's a concept that each person is being born and dying at every moment. And if you put this in another way, we are basically breathing ourselves in and out of existence at every moment. And I think this idea of being able to start fresh in each moment is one that is particularly useful to have in one's toolkit. And for that reason, I recommend re-listening to this session. It's helpful to remember that ultimately the only way to, ponder the past or the future is to be thinking conceptually. And beginning again also means in each moment recognizing that thought is thought, recognizing thought as thought, and recognizing thought for what it is so that you can return to the direct experience of this moment. So with that in mind, we are going to turn to a few questions from subscribers on the app that we received last week. Now, we've paired these questions about practice with teachers that we think would be the most apt to answer them. So starting out, John R. from Oregon asks, I've listened to the Path of Insight series and noticed that Joseph Goldstein talks repeatedly about the wanting mind and about desire being a dead end. I find this difficult to grasp because when I follow my own mind, it seems driven mostly by desire, even the desire to practice more skillfully and the desire to awaken. How should one navigate or cultivate having a healthy sense of desire without attachment to outcome? So for this question, we've recorded a response from Joseph, and I'll play that back for you right now.